What is up, everybody? It is Jonathan here for the first race of the season for Fast Chairs. Once again, for another season in the new old next gen cars, or next gen, excuse me, Gen 4 cars. And we're at Talladega for the first race. This race is the heat race. First, we have a heat race, and then we do 40 laps in the main event. We had no qualifying, so it just basically lined up how I wanted to for the heat race. So Alex Reno is on the pole for the race. I don't know why it's not showing the actual thing. I think once we get to green flag racing, it will show everyone in the right perspective slots. But it's a 10-lap heat race. Get ready to go racing here at Talladega in the new old Gen 4 cars. It's new to iRacing, but it's an old car. It's the old 03 style. Weird ass camera. I mean, it's cool angle, but it's weird being that way. But I'm gonna try that one, I guess. As we get ready, so we got Alex on the pole, David in second. Third is, as we get closer, is Kyle Cleveland. And fourth is Mitchell. Fifth will be Jonathan in that Home Depot car. Got a lot of course, we got a lot of paint schemes that will have old NASCAR ones. Got Guzzy in the Danny Hamlin FedEx. We got Tony Stewart, Jonathan. We got Kyle Cleveland and Jeff Gordon paint scheme. Others have their own style. And here we go, getting the green for heat. Only heat, but for 10 laps. Here we go, green flag. House gets out to a little lead here. Outside starting to fall back a little bit. Outside the line starting to give up a little bit as Kyle's pushing Alex into turn number 3. And complete lap number 1, Alex has the lead. Kyle in second. Jonathan in third. Kyle Carpenter in fourth. Single file through the first 4. Side by side. In the back there for the 26 of David. Or, excuse me. The 25 of David. 26 is Guzzy. As it looks like everyone's now single file. As we get running here at Talladega for heat, the only heat 1 and only heat. We are missing one person out of this group. It is Blaine 18. Sounds like he's still having connection issues, but should be, I think, ready for the main event. Or not really connecting issues, having, I guess, still VR problems, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that, but he should be ready for the main event. As right now, we are all single file here at Talladega. These Gen 4 cars, 03 cars, I want to say, don't have that wicker on the spoiler or that roof fin they used to have. So this car was always kind of, I guess you want to say, drag or less draggy or more drag, I guess you want to say, compared to the other one where that had that the wicker on the spoiler. It created more drag, I guess you want to say. It created more drag, so in the sense that you could be able to push more and be able to gain more speed with that car. Punch a bigger hole in the air. Compared to this one, it doesn't do as much. So as you can tell, we're running single file because we really can't like easily stay on the outside. Of course, we're just trying to get to the end here. It's like the only 10 lap heat race, so as we'll go back to the lead here. Alex leads. Next time by will be halfway in this heat number 1. Again, our main event is 40 laps. We'll have 1 pit stop. As Kyle, he's going to go to the outside. Okay, he's getting tired. Does Jonathan go with him? He does. Kyle will go to the outside. Jonathan will go with him, and Carpenter as well. As Jonathan is trying to help Carpenter get by Alex, but can't do it. Has no choice but to get back in line. And Carpenter just couldn't have enough speed. He's trying to side draft Alex. He's hoping someone else will pull up there. There goes DJ. He'll go with him. You gotta time it right. If someone goes with you, it's generally only about 2 cars. You have to get more cars in a group with this car. Beforehand, with the other one, you could maybe only have 2 cars, maybe 3, and easily just pull yourself right to the front. This car, it's the numbers game. The more cars you have in a line, the better you're going to be. So, right now, these 3 right here are actually doing pretty good. They're side by side with third, as Carpenter's going to the outside of Alex. Now side by side with Jonathan for that second spot. DJ's giving them good pushes. They kind of lose ground in the turn. But if they can get a good shove down the back straightaway here. I wish they had better angles on Talladega. It's kind of sucky. As they're still side by side for second. Now side by side for the lead. Jonathan pushing on Kyle Cleveland, trying to get him going. Keep him up there. As now 77 of Carpenter gets to the lead. I think he's trying to still get DJ to get there. Can't do it, so now he's going to stay on the outside. As the inside lane is trying to catch up a little bit here. As we're coming to it's coming to the white flag. We're at 2 laps to go here. Oh, Jonathan gets Kyle a little squirrely there, going into 3. But still side by side for the lead. As we're going back to the start finish line, get the white flag. Side by side. Both Kyle's white flags out. 1 to go for the heat race. Kyle Clement has an edge on the outside there. As Jonathan gets hooked by Alex, hangs onto it. That's going to break the momentum on the inside. As now Carpenter and DJ will push to the bottom. That leaves Mitchell on the outside with David. As I come off turn number 4. Kyle gets to the inside, makes it 3 wide. Gonna be a tight race here. Contact wrecking, and it's going to be Kyle Carpenter winning the heat race sideways across the start finish line as a huge crash happens at the end. And that is going to take it right into the main event for 40 laps here at Talladega. Everybody should be loading in here soon, hopefully. But what a crazy finish there for the heat race. So we'll see if that's going to happen for the main event. As actually, I know why we're not getting it. There we go. And that means Kyle Carpenter will be on the pole for the main event. Mitchell will be second. Third will be Kyle Cleveland. Fourth will be Jonathan Orndorff for number 20 there. We have DJ in 5th. 6th will be David. Tom in 7th. Alex in 8th. And Guzzy 9th. And Blaine did make it in, as you saw right there. We'll start last in the race there. Okay, for the main event at Talladega. Now, this won't be for every race that we have heat races, just for the super speedway races that we'll do a heat race. But kind of like a duel sort of thing. Kind of like what they do for Daytona. Daytona is in the schedule for this season. We also have 2 super speedways this year. But we'll get ready for green flag action here at Talladega. And again, apologize for I don't have much to work. I have TV1, TV2, and TV3. If I have ever time to do it, I need to go in and readjust them. And I really don't know how you can. I have to look that stuff up because I'm pretty sure there's something on YouTube that will tell me you can adjust them, but I want to make sure they move, obviously. But we'll see. Get ready for the main event. Which we'll go on board with these guys as well. We go. Pace cars off. As we got a full crowd here for the Talladega race. 10-car field here. Green flag. We're racing in the main event at Talladega. As there's a little checkup at the beginning, it looks like a little contact between the 22, 29 there. And that broke up the field a big time, as now we're already single file. The report that Jonathan did not time his shift and what caused a checkup there. And now the pack is broken up Got got 6 cars in one group and 4 in the other. And with this car, you need all the help in the world. So those guys in the back are going to probably struggle for a little bit. Right now, we got some single file racing here at Talladega. Again, it is hard to make passes with these cars. It's not impossible. It's just you need the help, and if you don't get the help, like, you need a lot. All right, beforehand, again, about 2 car. If you had a car just helping you, maybe a second car, 3 outside, you probably could make it pretty easily. But this car is a numbers car, and you need more cars on the outside to help, and it's just not worth probably making a run or anything like that. But that being said, it doesn't hurt running single file to get to the end of a race. Again, we have 1 pit stop in this race, scheduled pit stop. As Carpenter leads, Kyle Cleveland second, DJ third, Mitchell fourth, Jonathan fifth, and David in sixth. We have Alex in 7th, 8th, Blaine 9th is Tom, and 10th is Guzzy. Cars are a little separated here, but again, the draft's pretty strong in these cars when you're pretty close to them. Gotta be careful not to get too lazy on your draft, because then you could lose it. So I'm gonna be straight honest with you guys right now while watching this. This race gets boring. It's hard. There's not much to talk about. I hate to say it. Try to be as real about it as possible, like trying to make it legit as possible, but it's hard because, and it's something we're doing wrong or anyone's doing wrong. It's just that we're trying to be cautious about how we race and get to the end. These kind of races do tend to get boring like that, but also I will say it sounds like to me there could be an update to this car in its drafting package. I'm not sure if it's just the Speedway or both of them, but it looks like we could get maybe a patch for this car. I think next week. I'm not sure if that's what it is. I haven't checked any notes or anything like that, or what they're going to be actually fixing. But I think this car needs a little bit more. It needs a little more help on the super speedways, a little less at the other tracks. So maybe they almost kind of put them on the opposite car, I feel like. So then maybe we can run side by side a little bit more than what we're doing right now. On lap number 6, we still have Kyle Carpenter leading, Kyle Cleveland second, DJ third, Mitchell fourth, Jonathan fifth, David sixth. As I'll switch to the back of the pack here, we'll go to these guys here. We got Alex leading this group here. Tom behind there, him, Guzzy, and Blaine. Rounds out the field. So while we're at it, we might as well start doing it now, because Fun to do. Let's go back to the leader. Let's jump on board. Got Kyle Carpenter leading the race. Basically just hanging it to the bottom. Wide open. Go Kyle Cleveland in second. When you're in the pack, you kind of not working that hard, but car likes to float, so kind of somewhat have to keep on top of the car a little bit. Still can almost drive one-handed just because it's that easy with these cars, so. Go to DJ in third. And let's go to Mitchell, who's in fourth. Around completing a lap as we'll come to the line. We'll, lap number 10 here. You can go about 33 to 35 laps on the tank of fuel. So we do have one pit stop. It's kind of close to making it, but still got the pit. Go to Jonathan here, the number 20. And we'll go to David here in the 25. As he is the last car in this group. There's Tom leading this pack here. As actually Alex got shuffled back a little bit. They can see them, but, you know, they always say if you can see a car, you get in a draft. Well, not in iRacing. About 5 seconds back there. From the leaders, so it's definitely that's from the leaders, so you're about 4.5 seconds back from the last car in that group. Blaine in 18. Trying to shove Tom forward. As he's actually, looks like he's gotten hot, so he had to back off a little bit. As they're trying to make ground, but anytime a car gets hot, it's just doesn't. What you gain, like maybe 2 or 3 tenths, you're gonna lose all that, and then some just as soon as you get off of them. So this car is very sensitive to having that draft. If not, it has a draggy body, I guess you want to say, out of these cars. Got Alex, who's actually separated from Blaine there a little bit. That's gonna hurt the this group here being that separated. That gap is starting to grow now. It's over 6.5 seconds now. So yeah, it's definitely, this pack's struggling to even catch up. They even stopped the bleeding early. And remember how this happened is that on the main initial start, the 20 Jonathan did not time a shift right and let it hit the limiter chip on it, and when it did that, he shift. David in the 25 hit him, caused a chain reaction, and that broke up the field doing that. I think it keeps getting hot, so every time he pulls out like that, I mean, he has no choice. He's getting hot. So if it's overheat, he has to pull out, get some cool air. Well, that just loses another 2 to 3 tenths just by that. Doing that. So it's going to be a tall task. They're going to need those guys up front to start mixing it up a little bit to help maybe slow them down, or to have them wreck or something and get a caution. There is Guzzy in the 26 at Danny Hammond FedEx paint scheme. Oh, he doesn't have FedEx anymore. It's like Tom is bailing out of the pack here, it looks like. And Guzzy's going to allow him to get in, but Guzzy's got to be careful. It's too far back, he might lose this group. Car is very sensitive to the draft, and I got to have some... There you go, he caught up. This car kind of reminds me of the next gen car. You need so much help, and the tandem works, but you got to be perfect, and even then it doesn't very work. And this car kind of reminds me of it. It kind of has like the next gen graphic or aero effects on it, drafting effects. So maybe hopefully they'll adjust that, because I don't remember this car being that super draggy. Because you could run 2-3 wide and have no problem and still have the outside to work and everything like that. So I think they need to readjust it. Probably put a little bit of the legacy Gen 4 car, a little bit of that drafting in it, just to help it along. Just so when you do pull out and you do make a pass, you don't feel scared to not make any ground up, right? That one guy pulls out with you, you have a shot. But that's kind of what I'm hoping they do to fix that a little bit here in Super Speedways. But we'll see what they decide to do, if anyone's complaining about it or not. All right, let's head back up to the leaders. as we were kind of messing around there, they are finally starting to want to battle here a little bit. As we got the 24 of Kyle Cleveland on the outside with Mitchell. Kyle Carpenter on the bottom. DJ with him. The guys of Jonathan and David kind of hanging back there a little bit. As well as we get closer, halfway, about a couple laps away from halfway, we'll get to lap 20 right here. Next time by, we'll be halfway. As you can tell, see, Kyle Cleveland's hanging out there. He can. It's just that they just don't have that speed to stay close enough to be able to pass. Of course, I will say this: this is a league of fun, so they're actually doing this more or less to see if we can let the other pack catch up to them, so they have a chance to battle for the win. But looking at this, even when they're doing this, and they're allowing the times in the back are still bleeding off for them, or going up. I guess not bleeding off, going up. So it's like you're really are. Even them being side by side up front like this, it's not helping. It's the weirdest thing. Right there is about 10.7. But again, as soon as Alex or whoever's pushing gets hot, has to back off, they just lose all that ground again. So it's a very hard thing for this car to be able to stay tucked up, not get overheat, and then make ground at all. We're past halfway in this race. As DJ's pushed and see, if this was the Xfinity car, the trucks, or even heck, even the Legacy Gen 4 car, those two would actually have gotten a good push enough to surge ahead. And it just feels like you have to be really squared up, tight, and then stay that way for almost the whole lap, right? These guys seem to be able to on the outside. Kyle Cleveland and Mitchell. Of course, Jonathan and David are not really up there pushing or anything themselves, and that kind of just tells you about how the draft works too, being kind of separate. They don't have to be tucked up against everyone to still stay in the draft. But as soon as you want to, you just go throw full throttle, and the guy behind you just gives you little pushes, then you can call back up again. But as far as the car kind of wants to do it, right? Because you can see how easy they're staying side by side. And again, they're doing this on purpose a little bit, as Kyle actually gets a good surge there. And I think he's going to go to the bottom. No, he doesn't. Stays on top. Again, I think they're trying to help that, but Blaine is now almost 12 seconds behind now, so it's not working like they're thinking it's supposed to work. Of course, we should be getting close to pit stops here. We're probably about another 10 laps away or so. As we are getting close to From this race, next time by will be 15 laps to go. We're still side by side for the lead. Again, they're not really trying too much. Trying to have some fun a little bit. So let's be very clear, and I'm going to say this, be full honest about this. If the 20 Jonathan and the 25 of David decide to just get right tight up against the 66, those guys will push those guys, the 24 and 78, backwards. It's plain and simple, because they're just kind of hanging there, purposely having them hang out there and not pass. Of course, the guys in the back, they be trying to save just a little bit of fuel, make the pit stop less. Obviously, you know, you're not going to need a lot of fuel, but just in case a wreck does happen, you might need some for a green light checkered. If we were supposed to have a caution, since these are the old style 03 cars, they're going reverting back to the way it was back in the day when it was single file on restarts, lap cars on the inside. So kind of converting back to that, but you know, that's cool just because, you know, want to add a little old school to it, but we still have the modern day stuff. I think the restart zone still I think the restart zone is still in effect. Maybe that gets turned off if you use the single file system. I'm not really sure. I'm assuming you can still use it, even if. And personally, I would like to, just so we know where we're gonna launch. I mean, I guess as long as every track has that area, I guess you want to say. I guess we could just use it anyways. Because technically that's what, in the older days they had a line. As soon as you had two lines, the same thing. But in this case, it was that the leader can go at the first line or the second line, right? In between that first and second. So they had a zone, but in this case, you didn't have to get your whole car in that box. As soon as your front bumper hit that line, you could launch. In today's, racing, you have to be in the zone. You have to be in that box, and then you can fire off, right? And then if you got to the end of that line, of that box, then the green flag would wave anyways. So I don't know if they have that built into iRacing like that. So I don't think you could do that, but I don't know. I'm not sure. As Kyle Cleveland clears Kyle Carpenter and leaves Mitchell out to lunch there, as though he will slip in behind DJ. Jonathan backs up and allows Mitchell to get in the pack there. Guys, we're getting close to pit stops here. I would say in the next few laps we should start seeing pit stops. And I think that's why they decided to get all in single file, just so they know again, right to pit. And I wouldn't be surprised as, let's go back to the lonesome pack here. Okay, so these guys have already pitted. You got the 22, the 18, 26, as they are going to be separated. So it looks like they got even messed up even more, so they're done. Either way, I mean, it's not gonna matter to them unless they get a caution. But we'll go to the leaders, as we should see them come in any lap now, as it's not this lap they're gonna be in, so maybe next time by. And heck, I mean, even with them pitting, you thought maybe they could catch to this group. They were too slow. So they'll get back on the lead lap. As here we go, the main 6 pit. All trying to slow down to 55 miles per hour. And everyone does. That was really good. Everyone get in now. It should be just fuel only since they shouldn't need tires. As 24, 77, and 78 won't come in. Oh, I think 77. Carpenter missed his pit stop as well as Jonathan. He's on a bad angle there, but he's only getting fuel. And oh, he's in reverse, and he's got to get going. And he's going to be the last car out of this group. And he may lose the draft of this 6 here. The 5 in front of him. But they're all kind of spread out too. There's only 2 guys out front that are pretty close together is DJ and Kyle Cleveland. Carpenter is separated from Mitchell, and David is separated from everyone else, and Jonathan as well. So we'll see if they can all close back together. As it looks like those 2, Carpenter and Mitchell, have closed it up, and it looks like now David is closing or is backing up to the 20 as well. So now we just kind of have a 2-car tandem going on again. A little old school racing here. And probably like the 2011s where you had 2-car tandem, so not touching each other. But question is, can the 78 and 77 catch up to the 24 and the 66? And can the 25, David, and the 20 of Jonathan catch up to the rest of those guys? It would seem like if we've seen the pack before, the guys in the 4-pack there, they can't. I don't see how these guys are going to be able to catch up to the 66 and 24. Look at the distance of time here. It's about 1.5 seconds from Carpenter to DJ. Really got to look at more like Carpenter to Kyle Cleveland. So the gap is 1.6, and so about 1.5 seconds behind. See if that gap, every time the ticker goes by, see if that gap gets any closer or not. About 1.6, and it looks like David and Jonathan have completely lost this pack here. So these group of 4, so they're not going to be contention for the win. Unless they get caution late. As they come back around 3 and 4, they'll get to the line to be 5 to go. What that gap is right now. Oh, still 1.7 at this point. 5 laps to go. So that gap is now 1.5. 1.4. They're starting to slowly catch them. 1.3. Go back to that. It looks like, well, they're kind of separated off each other, but they're somehow gaining time a little bit. 1.2. Slowly but surely. There, catch 1.3 now. A little off. 1.4. The guys get tighter again. I think they can try to tandem as best they can. That should help. 1.3 again. Kind of stable there. 1.3. Come to line, be 3 to go. There's the push in the turn. Pushing in the turn. Well, to 1.4. 1.3 again. 1.2. Mitchell's doing everything he can to push. We got 3 laps to go. .1. They can get down to about 8/10, 7/10 of a second. They should be able to grab the draft of the front 2 there. But will they have enough time? They are catching them ever so slightly. I mean, it's gonna be close to the end of this race as they come in the line. Be 2 to go. Mitchell is pushing the heck out of Kyle Carpenter there. That gap is closed down to a second. I think he has to, again, he gets too hot, so he has to lift, and that's just, it kills them. And it wouldn't really matter if they were going to do like the tandem switch. They would have to do it perfectly to where they wouldn't lose enough time. But I think that's even slower than just having backing off a little bit, giving some air, and then going again. It's right back on them. 9/10 of a second as they're coming to the white flag. And backs off a little bit, but I think he's got the draft. It's down to 7/10. He should have the draft as they come to the line. White flag is out. 1 to go here at Talladega. If he's got enough draft, it's down to 4/10. He's got the draft. Will he be able to make a move on the back straightaway? Here he goes. Here goes. He makes a block. Kyle makes a block. Kyle makes a block, and that's going to leave Carpenter out. He'll fall back in line. Does Mitchell have anything? Does Kyle have anything? Kyle Clement have anything to beat DJ? Kyle pushing hard through the tri-oval and coming to the line. DJ is going to win at Talladega. And I believe that's his first ever win, and well, definitely in this league, and from as far as I know, at any league that he's been in. So congrats to DJ for winning at Talladega. Kyle Clement 2nd, Mitchell 3rd, Kyle Carpenter 4th, David 5th, Jonathan in 6th, Guzzy 7th, 8th is Blaine, 9th Alex, and 10th is Tom. That rounds out the field. So, yeah, not the most exciting Talladega race I've ever done broadcast for, but definitely, hopefully, they'll make some adjustments to this car and be able to have better racing with it. But congrats to DJ winning. And if you did like this broadcast, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to this channel and want to see more and hopefully better and more exciting broadcasts, consider subscribing to this channel. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you for the next one.